I'm sure you've done a lot of reflecting. How do you reflect back on 33 years when you're thinking about this being your final year and your final Arch Madness? What memories come to mind for you?
Well, certainly the culture in this office and the senior leadership that we've had through the years. We've got 4 people who've been here 30 years or more. That's very rare in any organization, particularly one this small, but that is certainly very important and central to my memories of the time I've spent here. I look at the decision to bring our basketball tournament, men's tournament, here to St. Louis, Arch Madness. We celebrated our 30th year in St. Louis a year ago, and very proud of what the teams have done coming out of St. Louis, our men's basketball teams, what they've done in the NCAA Tournament. 2 teams to the Final Four, 11 to the Sweet 16. Couldn't ask for a better feeling when you have that kind of success, not only in men's basketball, but in women's hoops and other sports.
33 years in this job and longest tenured commissioner in big-time Division I athletics. How have you seen the sports landscape change over the last 3+ decades?
Well, it's gotten more difficult not only for sports but for young people with social media. The media, television media certainly has promoted the sports, college sports, and the growth of the industry in college basketball and other sports has been terrific. And I think I'm very encouraged about the future of college sports, and I think we're going to get some of our policies in line with the name, image, and likeness legislation that's going through. Student athletes have more freedoms to transfer, and I think the fact that they have granted a 5th year of eligibility to seniors this year, I think that's a positive step for the guys and gals.
We've all watched COVID the last year or so, how difficult it is to pull off any type of sports and scheduling, and you have to be so fluid. Things constantly change. How difficult has the last year been for you guys?
It's been very challenging, actually. Not only here, but our campuses, the administrators and coaches on campus are on the front lines. But I have to say this, we're going to be one of the few conferences that is very likely to have all of their conference basketball games played. And we're approaching that, and through Saturday we've completed our men's side, another week after that for the women. And it's remarkable that we've been able to navigate. 3 or 4 months ago, we were dreading what it might look like, and wondering if we were really going to be able to finish our season and play in the State Farm Missouri Valley Tournament. So we're very pleased to be at this juncture.
And for those that don't know how important, not just the Valley Tournament, but the NCAA Tournament is in terms of revenue to fund so many different sports. You read different articles about, obviously the loss of revenue with having no big dance last year. How important is it to have one this year, as safe as possible though, but to be able to fund intercollegiate athletics?
I think the industry is almost requiring that we have our March Madness, because the financial haircut was significant. I know we lost about 70% of our overall revenues by not having the media payments and the basketball revenue sharing that comes from the NCAA. So I do applaud the NCAA for the protocols and the safety measures they've taken, centering men's basketball tournament in Indiana, women's basketball tournament in the state of Texas, and very, very careful consideration of risk mitigation and safety precautions.
And I'm a Valley grad from Bradley, and conferences always change, and maybe they've changed more so than ever the last 10 years or so with so much conference realignment. But the footprint and what the Valley means to you in the Midwest, what does it mean to you?
It's the second oldest conference in the country, founded in 1907. Only the Big Ten is older. Dr. James Naismith and some others are on the wall behind me in our Hall of Fame. It really does. It mirrors the history of college athletics, our league, and I'm just really proud of the tradition and the great leadership we've gotten from presidents and athletic administrators, and most of all with the class and character that we've had with our student athletes since I've been here, certainly, and going way back. I mean, you look at the great athletes who have come through our doors and participated in competitive Missouri Valley play, and it's really amazing.
And you touched on this, but how important and how special is Arch Madness in St. Louis? When you look at some other conferences, whether it's the Big Ten, they may be in Chicago, then Indianapolis, and the SEC, maybe they go to Atlanta and Nashville, and they switch around a little bit. But to have the Valley Tournament, Arch Madness in St. Louis every year for so many years, how rare is that? And And what do you think that means to this city?
First of all, the branding is terrific. Arch Madness, played right before March Madness, and we didn't get sued, but we got a phone call or two on our trademark. But, I think bringing our tournament here enabled us to improve it, grow it. We had 22,612 at a couple of sessions back in the 2000s, the biggest crowd ever for basketball in what is now the Enterprise Center. And you just can't say enough about what that's done for St. Louis, not only our event, but bringing other events here. And we've had 2 women's Final Fours, a men's Final Four, and 11 other men's first and second round and regional events here in St. Louis in conjunction with our sports commission. And that's had a major economic impact on the city and the region.
And final question for you, what do you think your legacy is with the Valley, and what are you most proud of as you step away with your over 3 decades here about what you've accomplished?
I think creating a culture here of teamwork, and we've accomplished so much that with a fairly thin staff comparing us to high majors, really, really proud of what the campuses have accomplished, building facilities, creating new programs. The football side, which I have nothing to do with, though, is a national powerhouse, the Missouri Valley Football Conference. And I think really just looking at the way our student athletes have competed, the class and leadership provided by our coaches and administrators, and I just feel really good about the run that I've had here. I couldn't have asked for anything more.